We just went over all the basic option strategies. The buying of a call, the selling of a call, the buying of a put, the selling of a put, the selling of the iron condor, the selling of the strangle, the selling of the put spread, the selling of the call spread, the buying of the put spread, and the buying of the call spread. Okay? Basic option strategies. Everything else is just a deviation from it. The butterfly, the iron butterfly. If I buy this, this is going to give me the right to purchase it at the 673 strike. I don't have to exercise my right to be able to purchase it. But when I do this, I am bullish. And when I do it, I'm going to start off with 49 bullish deltas. Now, when I buy a call, I have unlimited upside potential, as you can see here. Max profit is unlimited. When I buy a call, the most I can lose is what I paid for the call. And so that's what it's saying here. Your max loss is what you paid for the call. When you're dealing with options, you have to put up what is called collateral to be able to do the option. When you're the buyer of an option, the collateral is the amount to pay for the option, that $13.92 or whatever we're paying here. Okay, it's jumping around. The buyer of a call is bullish. You want it to go up. You have a right to purchase at the strike price. You have unlimited upside potential within that time frame of the expiration period. When you flip the strategy and you go to another basic strategy and you buy a put, that is also a right, but now the right is different. You have the right to sell at the strike price, in this case, the 667, but your max potential loss is still the same. It's what you paid. The buying power you have to put up is still the same. It's what you paid. And you have the potential to make all the way to zero. It's not unlimited. If the SPY went to zero, which it wouldn't, but a lot of stocks could, you could make a ton. So this is why it can define how much you can make, because it can only go to zero, right? On the upside, if you buy a call, it can't define because it can technically go up into perpetuity. The buyer of a put has a right to sell. The buyer of a call has the right to buy. Those are basic strategies there. Now, if I go over here and I go back to the call side and I sell a call, all single type of strategies at this point. If I sell a call, then I have an obligation to sell shares to the buyer of the call at the 674. So now think about this. If you have a right to do something, let's say you bought the call and you have a right to purchase. Well, if you have a right to purchase something, then someone is going to have the obligation to sell it to you. Right? If you have the right to do it, then someone's going to have to give it to you. So in this case, on the call side, the option seller has the obligation to sell to the buyer at the strike price. So when you are selling a naked call, then you have unlimited risk technically to the upside, because it's the opposite of the buyer. The buyer has unlimited potential to the upside. So obviously, if you flip that, the seller has to have unlimited risk to the upside if you're selling a naked call. When you sell a naked call, the max you can make is what you receive for selling the call, but your max loss is unlimited, as you can see here, and your buying power is not going to be unlimited. They're going to give you some type of fraction of what you can lose. And it's usually 20, 30, or even 100% of what you can lose, depending on the underlining that you're doing it here. Obviously, in this case, they're only giving a fraction, 13,000. That's what you have to put up to do this trade. The selling of a call is bearish. You want it to go down. This is a basic strategy. Now, some of you know we do the selling of a call with the shares. When you have the shares, it's not unlimited upside risk anymore, because you have the shares that you are required to sell to someone. So once again, this call seller has the obligation to sell shares. Well, if you're doing a covered call, you have the shares already. You have at least 100 shares. So it can go up to 1 million. It doesn't matter. You have the shares. So you just sell your shares to the person at the 674. That's why the covered call is considered a conservative strategy. It's considered for a safer strategy than just buying the shares. Before we continue with the video, I just want to quickly point out, if you need any additional help, please consider joining our trading club. You can do that by clicking on the link in the description area, and you'll get a 3-month trial for a flat fee of $60. We look forward to seeing you in the trading club. Back to the video. Because this call that you sell acts as at least a hedge for you to the downside, right? If you sell this call for $13, well, you don't start losing until the SPY drops $13. That's your kind of cushion. That's your hedge. That's your wiggle room. Yes, you stop winning once it hits the 674. if you're doing a covered call. To understand a covered call, you have to understand the naked call. If you don't understand a naked call, then you're not going to truly understand the covered call. If we flip this and we put this naked position on the put side, it's now a naked put. If you sell a naked put, you have the obligation to buy at the strike price. Remember, the buyer of the put has a right to sell. So once again, if you have a right to do something, then someone else has to have an obligation to do the other side. So you have a right to sell the shares at the 666. So someone has the obligation to buy, and that's the seller of the put. The seller of the put has the obligation to buy. If you sell a put, the most you can make is the premium you receive when you sell it. The most you can lose, it's not unlimited, but it can feel that way, is if it goes to zero. The underlining that you sell the put on, if it goes to zero, then that's the risk that you have. You can lose, in this case, over $65,000 if this SPY goes to zero. Once again, it's not going to do that, but that's technically your risk. You have to put up a fraction of the buying power or all the buying power, depending on what underlying you're doing it in. If you're doing it on an underlying that is not considered safe, that the broker's firm or the regulators don't consider it safe, then you're going to have to put up all the max loss. In this case, you're putting up a fraction on the SPY here. The seller of a put is bullish. You want it to go up, but if it goes down, you have a cushion. You have a $10 cushion here if this was what you received, $10. You technically won't start losing until this drops to 656 at expiration. As an option seller, the premium you receive is your cushion, it's your rope, it's your room for error, it's your margin of error, your margin of safety, whichever way you want to articulate it. We went over the buying of the call, the buying of the put, the selling of the call, and the selling of the put. Those are 4 basic strategies right then and there that you have to understand. You can see how all these kind of combinations to come together. If we decided that we wanted to sell a call and sell a put, this is a basic strategy. It's advanced risk with this, but this is a basic strategy. This is what is called a strangle. You're selling a naked put, and at the same time, simultaneously, you're selling a naked call. When you do that, you're inherently neutral. You want it to stay in between your short strikes, the put short strike and the call short strike. If it stays in this area, this is where you win. But when you do it, you technically have unlimited risks on this trade because the call side has unlimited risks to the upside. That's why it's saying your max potential loss here is unlimited. Once again, as an option seller, most of the time, the most you can make is what you receive. So in this case, you're receiving a little over $2,000. That's the most you can make on this trade if it stays between your put and call strikes. You have to put up collateral to do this type of trade, and the collateral is 12,000, a little over 12,000, just under 13,000. That is really what is the risk in the trade. That's what the broker's firm and the regulators are deeming the real risk is at this time. It's just under 13,000. It's not really unlimited, but that's technically what the risk you have when you put this trade on. But what they deem is your real risk is just under 13,000 at 12,800 here. So if you ever wanted to know what is the risk in this trade, well, you can go by the buying power. That's what your broker's firm is thinking, and they have to be good at risk management or they can lose a lot of money and be out of business. And obviously that's what the regulators are considering.
Brian, where does your credit come into account? Because you're not going to lose your premium until it hits what, 696 or something like that because of the credit that you've got.
So yeah, on this call side, exactly, right? It has to go up to 20 points higher on this call side. 696 because that's what you're receiving here, $2,000. 100 times 20 is 2,000. So it has to go up 20 points. It has to be above 20 points higher on this call side for you to lose. That's quite a bit, right? That's quite a bit. 96 is what? 96 is, a 22 delta. So it's a 22% chance it's going to expire above that. And then on the put side, it's the same thing. It's 20 points from below here. So it's the 640. Can it do that? Yeah, it could do that. Either side, you guys know. But you don't technically start losing, Andrea and everyone else on the call, until it supersedes your premium. Your P&L might be red throughout the trade or something like that, but it doesn't mean you're going to lose if it's not down 20 points past your strike on the put side or up 20 points past your call side. If it stays below that on either side, or if it doesn't fall or go higher than that, then you're going to win. That $2,000 is your cushion. So that's a strangle, right? That's a basic strategy. This turns this into what is called an iron condor. You guys know we do these a ton here at Dorian Trader. This is our primary type of option trade is the iron condor because we do it on the 0DT, we do it on the 1DT, we do it on the 7DT, we do it on some bread and butter. The bread and butter, most of the time I'm doing put spreads, but this an iron condor is a popular strategy here at Dorian Trader. It's the same as the Strangle, except you're reducing your risk on the put side. You no longer have unlimited risk all the way to zero on the put side because of this put that you're buying, because that gives you a right. And then you don't have unlimited upside because of the call that you're buying, that gives you a right. So you stop losing when it hits this call. You stop losing when it hits this put. You still wanted to stay in between your short strikes because it's still inherently neutral with the iron condor, just like the Strangle. You win in this area. You kind of see how these basic strategies are coming to life, right? How they kind of build on each other. We have now went over the buying of a call, the selling of a call, the buying of put, the selling of the put, the selling of the Strangle, and the selling of the iron condor. All basic. When you decide to remove one of these, let's say we remove this call spread here. Now you have what is called a basic put spread, the selling of this put spread. You can sell this put spread, and the most you can make, once again, is how much you receive on the put spread. In this example, the 127. The most you can lose is in between the spreads, in between the spread here, minus the credit that you receive. So that's why they say the max loss is 372. What you have to put up if you have regular T or regulation T margin, you have to put up your max loss, which is the 372 again. If you are selling this, if I flip it, it can also be a basic trade. This is buying of a put spread. But now my right supersedes my obligation. But I'm paying this 127 now. The most I can lose is what I pay. The most I can win is the difference between this spread and what I paid, which is 373. And the buying power that I have to put up is my max loss. Just a bearish put spread there. Now, if we flip this again and we move this to the call side, this is going to be a bullish call spread. In this example, I have an overall right because my right is superseding my obligation. I'm paying for a right that's more than the obligation that I'm selling. Okay, so this is an overall right. The most I can lose is what I paid, which is, let's just say $4. The most I can win is the difference between what I paid and these strikes. So the most I can win is $300. This is a 7-point wide spread, and I'm paying $4. So the most I can win is $300. The buying power is what I can lose, right? Like we talked about. If I flip this, then it's the opposite. It's the same thing. Most I can make is 400 now. The most I can lose is 300. The buying power I have to put up is 300. This is a call spread. The selling of a call spread is bearish. The selling of any type of call strategy is bearish. The selling of any type of put strategy is bullish. The buying of any type of put strategy is bearish. The buying of any type of call strategy, that's to say you bought 1,000,000 calls and it made this interesting type of spread up. If it's a net debit on the call side, it's bullish. If it's a net debit on the put side, it's bearish. And vice versa. If it's a net credit on the put side, it's bullish. If it's a net credit on the call side, it's bearish. We just went over all the basic option strategies. The buying of a call, the selling of a call, the buying of a put, the selling of a put, the selling of the iron condor, the selling of the strangle, the selling of the put spread, the selling of the call spread, the buying of the put spread, and the buying of the call spread. Okay? Basic option strategies. Everything else is just a deviation from it. The butterfly, the iron butterfly, whatever people come up with there, like what we come up with here at the Dorian Trader, the bullish bear strategy, the bionic bull, all just basic strategies for the most part, just deviations from the basic strategies.